Hello, Pokemon fans! This is ProPokeNoob, back today with upload number 100. 101 for me because of PMP beta, but upload number 100 for you, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not seen the upload of the century, I'm going to leave a link in the description and in the video, so you guys can go check that out before you continue to watch this video, because that took me a full day to make, and it's an extremely short little video that you guys can go check it out, but it was devoted to all of you. And if you pay attention to the last scene in it, you guys might find something that's very subscriber included. But anyways, I am back. I haven't recorded in a long time, but we are going to be starting the first series today, so let's go take a look at it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are starting with the Smeargle Tier today. I actually switched up which one I wanted to start with because the other one is taking extremely long, and so is going to be a third one that actually involves some subscriber involvement. I am back. I am so happy to be back. Anyways, so today we are going to start with the Smeargle Tier. So a lot of you were trying to figure out what I'm going to do, and basically what I'm going to do first is go over the rules of the tier, because I did create rules since I'm a very organized person, and it is a bit of a confusing tier if you don't have the rules in front of you when you're doing it, but essentially it is a tier that I have created, and it's not your average 6v6 Smeargles. Hey, look at that. I already gave you a rule, so let's go take a look at the rules here. So this is a Smeargle tier. You guys are happy to read ahead. I'm going to pull out the... I think I have the highlighter. There we go. Cool. But essentially, this is the Smeargle tier. I'm sorry if this is too small. I'll leave the rules in the description as well. But essentially, what you're going to be doing is a 6v6 Smeargle battle. Right? No, right there. Cool. Sweet. Hope that's not too bright. Is it too bright? Nah. Anyways, so the way that I thought about this tier was... You know, most people like doing 6v6 Smeargles, and they just bring 6 Smeargles, and they do, like, the baton passing stuff into something that has, like, Aero Blast, or Sacred Fire, or something ridiculous like that, or Extreme Speed Killer. So basically, a Ninjask Smeargle into an Arceus Smeargle type of thing, right? And that's what they like to do. I wanted to go a little bit of a different approach. So, they're all still level 100. You have to have them as level 100. That's, forget it. They have to be level 100, and they have to have the same name. Now, it must be creative, ladies and gentlemen. The whole point of this tier is it's a creative tier, not so much competitive. This is to make your mind work, and it's to essentially get you just thinking about sets if you had an infinite possibility, and that's generally what I was doing when I made this. Because what happened was, when I saw Smeargle in 3rd Gen, it excited me so much, because I'm like, hey, a Pokemon that can learn any move just by looking at it, and then you can make whatever Smeargle you want. Now, obviously, I didn't have Pokegen or Sav or anything like that back then, so I couldn't make my own Smeargles, but, you know, I'd always go out and, like, try and find Pokemon, just copy different moves, and then, you know, try them out in battle. I think I had at one point, like, a Sporing one, actually. It was, like, a standard one without even me knowing standard. But, you know, I thought about it, and I go, you know, there are no tiers that actually really encourage creativity. You know, there's nothing that really tells you to look at other moves other than standard Smogon sets type of thing, or you can come up with your own things, but it always goes back to the standard support or offense or defensive sets that you can find on Smogon or on the popular battling channels. So what I decided on was, you know, what if you just use a Smeargle and you put a whole bunch of rules onto it so that people just can't build these smash passing, extreme killing teams. And that's what I've done here. So, you must have 31 IVs. in all stats unless modified by a hidden power. Okay, and this is where it gets really cool. You need to have 6 different natures, ladies and gentlemen. You need to have 6 different items, ladies and gentlemen, and 24 different moves. Now, what this means, okay, is with 6 different natures, it does not affect EVs. EVs are okay. Alright, so you can make them all max speed, max attack if you want, but they have to have 6 different natures and no neutral natures. So no hardy, no bashful, no the other 3. But, you know, you're going to have something like adamant, jolly, I don't know, naive, modest, quiet, and impish, let's say, right? So it has to be 6 different natures. Your opponent can't check, so I would say to be a little bit careful with looking at the natures, since it actually does make a difference. And I've run damage calcs with another person, which you will find out about later. But yes, I have run damage calcs, and it does make a difference. So the next thing is 6 different items. Now, the normal banned items are still banned. This includes Soul Dew, even though that doesn't really make a difference on a Smeargle, but, you know, whatever. So normal banned items, the berries like Salad Berry, Lakey Berry, and stuff like that, those are all still banned. Other than that, anything that you basically see in competitive play, those items are still okay. It just has to be 6 different items. Okay, also pay attention to that because it also swings the battle. Last but not least, the most fun part, I would say, of this is the 24 different moves right here. Now, what this means is you will not have a single copy. I know I just repeated 24 different moves, but you will not have a single copy of a move, right? Now, there are going to be some restrictions on these moves, including Baton Pass and Shell Smash. Those are both banned. We determined, we as in the Council of the Smeargle Knights, that Baton Pass and Shell Smash is just broken even if they're on separate sets. We tried it on separate sets. Just having Baton Pass anything on a Smeargle is just stupid, as well as Shell Smash, because it's just so unfair if you give it a White Herb or even a Life Orb. It just wipes the floor as a mixed attack or stuff like that. So we decided on Baton Pass and Shell Smash being banned. You trust me, you won't even be going near there if you have these many options. But another thing that we banned were all fighting type damaging moves. Okay, so what this means, no close combat, no aura sphere, nothing like that. Now, there are exceptions to this, and that includes non-damaging moves. Put that up there. Non-damaging moves, so stuff like bulk up, are legal. Okay, counter is legal because when you think about it, you have to do damage in order for you to deal damage back with counter, and, you know, a lot of Smeargles can predict around this, or when you find out there's a counter, hey, we're gonna have to play around the counter now. So that is fair, as well as Seismic Toss, because Seismic Toss will be doing 100 damage, and I believe Smeargle's base, I will look at Smeargle's base HP, but even with leftovers, I think it'll be a 3-hit KO, and there's recovery moves as well, but nonetheless, Seismic Toss is still fair. So, stuff like bulk up, counter, and Seismic Toss are legal, just no fighting type damaging moves. Sounds good to me. Next, Moody, obviously banned, because if you really want to be a troll, you just put Moody on and just see where the heck you can go with your set, but no, Moody is gone, no Moody. Thank you very much. Next, all moves banned by Smogon. Banned by Smogon are still banned, such as Double Team, Guillotine, stuff like that. So, not... there is, actually, I didn't put this exception on here, so you're going to have to listen carefully to this, but any combination of moves that are banned are not banned in this tier. So, for example, when I went on Smogon, or on PO, okay, I went on PO to test my team with a friend, and apparently my moveset was illegal because Smeargle cannot run the 4 moves together. It was actually all 4 moves cannot be run together. Not here, ladies and gentlemen. If you have that problem, just have the other person accept the challenge or send the invite challenge, stuff like that, because they will actually not allow you to play other people with Smeargles, nor use the team because you have an illegal Smeargle. So, any sets that are technically not supposed to go together, don't worry about it. They are legal here, even if they are completely broken. Trust me, we've done, you know, a fair amount of testing, and the testing is going to continue. Anyways, all moves that are banned by Smogon are still banned, obviously. Now, when you're doing your battle, you're going to have the Sleep Clause, the Freeze Clause, the Wi-Fi Clause, the Self-KO Clause, and the Item Clause active. The Item Clause is to make sure that if you have screwed up your item, it will make it fair and take the person's item away. Now, unfortunately, if they're running acrobatics, it actually kind of helps them in the beginning, but don't do that. They have to have an item, first of all. I should have specified that. They have to have an item. Okay, so make sure this one, of all things, is on, as well as the Wi-Fi clause, even though it doesn't really matter. But sometimes you'll look at the team and you'll kind of think, okay, maybe I don't want to lead with my anti-lead Smeargle this time, I want to lead with something else. So, that's the thing. Now, important is that you remove the species clause, because otherwise you're going to be reduced to 1v1 Smeargles, and we're not doing 1v1 Challenge Cup here, so make sure you remove the species clause. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, do not think too competitively, think about creativity. Now, what this doesn't mean is go scratch Aqua Jet, stuff like that with Technician, okay? It does mean that you can do it. I mean, I'm not stopping you from doing something like that if you really want to be original. But if you guys remember my debate about originality, way back, was it upload number 34? No, that was about Rage Quits. There's another one that I talked about with originality, when that was actually a big thing on YouTube. I've learned from the few battles that I've done so far that actually putting in competitive Smeargle sets that are not standard Smeargle sets are actually more fun than trying to make a team that has full synchronicity like normal Smeargles. So if I don't have a Sporing Baton Passing set, but I have a Sporing, and you'll see my next part of that set, it's actually equally fun, if not more fun. And trust me, ladies and gentlemen, there is a ton of fun that comes out of this tier. It is just, everyone that I've tested it against or told it to, they love it. And I mean, I don't think they're flattering me, but it is a very interesting thing. I have put some time into this. I've done damage calcs. I've checked different stuff. I have already learned of some OP sets that are going to be most likely used and discovered, mainly because 2 of them are going to be in some uploads that I already have ready for you guys. But what this does mean is that, you know, there's going to be a meta in this tier, kind of, and there's going to be certain moves that you might always see. Obviously, you can already think of certain moves that you could already see in this tier, but I'm okay with that, because the whole point of this tier is to get people to think. And not only that, but to get people to realize that there are a ton of viable moves out there that can be used with other moves. And, you know, to be quite honest, I think that this would be a great addition to not only this channel, not the Smogon. The Smogon doesn't need this. I'm not trying to advertise this to become the next biggest, I don't know, Pokemaniac that just creates a tier. Hey, it's a new PU, right? No, I'm not going for that. I just want people to try this out. And, you know, you can have a lot of fun with this tier, and trust me, it doesn't even take you that much time. You just look through all the moves, you already have moves that pop up in your mind, and then as you go along, which I have found, which a couple of people can vouch for, once you start making the sets, your mind just explodes, because you're thinking like, oh, I can make this, and I can put this together with this thing, and this works with that, and it always happens, because you'll just start thinking about, you know, the 4-move syndrome that, you know, Breloom always gets. It's the same thing with Smeargle. You just wish you could put that 5th move on, and just continue on. But that is the Smeargle tier now, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what makes this tier flexible is the thing that I've hidden down here. Oh, whoa, hello. Extra rules. Huh. Now, I've left it as blank, even though I already have the extra rules ready. Now, what are extra rules? Extra rules, essentially, are rules that you can add to your battle, or to your team building when you go against another person, to make you think even more about your sets. So, for example, one of the rules that I would put on here is you can only use a maximum of 4 different types of moves. So, like water, grass, fire, and electric. And you have to use 6 moves of each type. So, you'd have to use, let's say, 6 grass, 6 water, 6 fire, 6 dark. Okay? That's what you'd have to do, and you'd have to put it on the Smeargle while following all of these things as well. So, that would make you not only change up your team a little bit, or a lot, but obviously normal moves are banned. I forgot to tell you that. Normal moves would be banned when you do that rule, but what you can do is you can add as many rules as you want if you really want to make your game completely complicated, but I recommend usually doing maybe 1, maybe 2 if you're a veteran or seasoned Smeargle tier player, but you know, if you want to start with 1, do it. It actually makes it even more interesting, because then you start thinking of all these other sets, and it really makes you question, first of all, okay, how am I going to approach this rule while following these, right? So I'm not going to post those up yet. I will post them up later, but I don't want to post them unless people have started trying standard Smeargle play. in the Smeargle tier. So, what that means, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to leave this up to you now. If you would like to see more Smeargle tier action, I have some battles saved, but if you guys would like to try this out on your own, I invite you to do it. Save your log, give it to me, give me movesets. You can leave movesets in the description or in the comment section below if you think of something while watching this video, or if you think of something while you're battling and stuff like that, and we can start working on that and stuff, and, you know, make this pretty popular. I think this would be a fun idea. I don't know. And everyone that I've talked to, they said it's dropped down awesome. So, what I'm going to do now is bring up my team builder, and I'm going to show you the team that I have made. Hopefully it won't be too blurry. Yeah. So, I have the 6 Smeargles here. Obviously, my team's name, actually it's not obvious, but my team's name is Team Sketchy. So, don't use Team Sketchy, I swear I'm going to come after you. No, kidding. But, I'm going to explain this now. It's going to be a little tough for you guys to tell in battle, because, obviously, they're all going to be named Sketchy, and I'm not going to necessarily remember all of them, but I'll try my best to tell you, okay, guys, this is the, you know, anti-lead one, this is the setup one, stuff like that. I'll tell you guys about it. But anyways, the first Smeargle that we have here is a Timid Focus Sash Smeargle with Toxic Spikes, Taunt, Fake Out, and Spore. Now, I'm going to warn you, this is an older team that I got my battles off of, and I got some new battles with a new team that I fixed up, mainly because if you guys are looking, well, it's got Fake Out and it's Timid. So I made that mistake, but I didn't want to change anything up because when you go to the battle, it has to look completely accurate. So I did Max Speed, Timid Nature, Max Defense. Max Defense is to basically be a big wall to stuff like U-Turn. Just take stuff like that in the lead, or just take it in general against physical attackers, because some physical sets are actually quite painful and you need max defense, max HP. But since I usually like having my lead Smeargle to have the maximum speed that the tier can offer, I gave it that so that it can actually outspeed everyone, hopefully go for a taunt or a spore, and then from there continue to set up the toxic spikes in this case. Right now I've changed it up to actually spikes. But anyways, Fake Out is just to break potential sashes, or just to be nice priority nonetheless. I mean, it is attack reduced, but that has been changed recently to... Oh, I cannot remember, because I think I changed some natures around. But anyways, this is the Timid Nature one. The next Smeargle that we have over here, and it also... Oh, sorry, I should mention that it does have Technician, just for Fake Out. I mean, Own Tempo is not going to be needed in the lead spot. I don't predict a lot of people to be using Confusion, but there are some uses to Own Tempo, as I will show you. For example, right here, my Choice Scarf, Jolly Smeargle. Now, it's going to be Max Attack, Max Speed, again, Speed boosting nature, so I can be the fastest in the tier. Actually, other than priority, it will be the fastest for speed ties if you have other Jolly Scarfers. But we have U-Turn, Explosion, Thrash, and Destiny Bond with Own Tempo. Now what that means is Thrash will not confuse you. Isn't that awesome? You don't even need a Lumberry. Just put Own Tempo on this guy, thrash away. It's beautiful. People interrupt you when you're doing it with stuff like Fake Out or stuff like Protect. You don't get confused because it's that great. But Explosion, obviously, Choice Scarf Explosion just to take Pokemon out. I'm thinking, or take Smeargles out. Now, I'm trying to think of a move to go in that slot. I haven't used it yet, but then again, I haven't come into a situation where an Explosion is necessary. I'd probably use something like Choice Band or Normal Gem Explosion. But, I mean, I haven't run into that situation yet where Explosion is necessary, unless I'm trying to get some form of blind switch advantage, because in this tier, blind switching is probably the scariest thing that you can have if you don't have any knowledge of what's left on his team or what his team has. So, his or her, I should say. So, Destiny Bond, Scarf Destiny Bond is very threatening. Obviously, you have a threat that you just can't kill and you want to be faster than it with your Scarf. Set up Destiny Bond, let him take you out, take his Pokemon out, because, I mean, it can be scary. And last but not least, U-Turn, obviously, because, I mean, you can go for Volt Switch, you'd have to have a little bit of mixed EVs, which is not a bad thing. You guys can figure it out yourself. I just prefer to have everything on the physical side, and I also figured, you know, Smeargle does have less base defense than special defense, so I like physical Scarf. I have met a person who's done mixed Scarf and a special Scarf, so I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Next Smeargle. Oh yeah. Impish Leftovers Smeargle with 252 in HP, 140 in defense, 116 in special defense. Mixed defense Smeargle. I like it to be even. And this is the one with Dragon Tail, Rapid Spin, Wish, and Protect. This guy has undergone some massive EV training changes because it turns out that I need to boost him a little bit with some attack in order for Dragon Tail to actually be useful, as well as the Rapid Spin, Wish, and Protect. So he used to be a cleric, he used to have aromatherapy, but I figured, you know what, I mean, you get status, the sleep clause is up, the freeze clause is up, you can kind of work around it. Most of the time you're going to run into, I don't know, mostly it's been toxic poison and sleep. So nothing really to freak out about there, but that is the common thing that I have been running into. But this guy has gone through undergo massive changes because Own Tempo, first of all, this used to be a cleric, so I didn't really change that to Technician, which would actually boost Dragon Tail and Rapid Spin, but more Dragon Tail. So yeah, it's a little bit of a sloppy team. Also because I was doing changes with the tier rules and stuff like that. So I mean, there's gonna be these flaws. But anyways, that is what we're running with today. It's also got the nice Protect for scouting and stuff like that. You can lead off with this guy and just continue on. Life Orb, Naughty, Sketchy. Now, this guy is cool. I love this guy. This is probably my prized Smeargle ever. I mean, I love it. It's so genius that I actually cried a little inside, ladies and gentlemen. I cried. Anyways, so, conversion. Spite, Gear Grind, Rock Blast. Now, I want you to mull on that for a second. Why the heck would I use those moves? Ladies and gentlemen, conversion, if you do not know what it does, changes your type into one of the 3 other moves on your set, other than the type that you are now. So, he starts off as normal. If I get conversion on Spite, I become a ghost type, thus removing all normal stab threatening moves. Holy mackerel, it actually works if you ever get it set up, but I mean, it works if you get it off. Also, Spite is just very useful for taking out stuff like Extreme Speed and stuff like that, but that's not the point. The point is to get conversion off. If you convert into Steel type, you're going to resist stab normal moves, and if you convert into Rock Blast, you will also resist Steel type normal moves. Now, the reason why I have both, the reason why I have both Steel and Rock is because if you find a fire move on someone's Smeargle, hey, Rock Blast, you can turn to a rock and resist that. There's no fighting in the tier, so I don't have to worry about that. And, you know, Gear Grind is a very powerful move, Stab. I believe, if I remember the damage calc correctly, Life Orb boosted, Technician boosted, Stab boosted, Gear Grind, if I am not mistaken, is either 112.5 or 117.5 base power hitting twice, I think. But it's something ridiculous like that, just because when you turn it into Stab, it gets boosted. Even without Stab, 50 with Technician boosted, Life Orb boosted, stuff like that, it gets very powerful. And it's very good for breaking through subs, and just basically breaking through. I believe without Stab, it does 40% to the average Smeargle. Like, hitting both, like, 20% twice. So that's very painful. I haven't used Rock Blast yet, but I do know that it also equally gets boosted, and that can hit 2 to 5 times, which could be potentially a KO, or very close to KO, depending on how much previous damage that they have. But this is essentially what the conversion does. With the Technician, you just set up, obviously I'm Naughty Nature because, you know, Jolly and all that's taken up, but I also want a max attack on this guy, and I don't run Adamant. I forget why. I think I might have had Adamant on someone else? I don't know. But, I might change it. Again, this has been changed up, so this might be Adamant now, who knows. But, yeah, that's my conversion set, and you guys will see in an upload that it actually kind of pays off. Next Smeargle. Wow, I'm getting really tired, and I haven't uploaded. This is evident that I haven't uploaded in a while, because I might sound a little bit quieter, by the way, because people are around me, so I don't want to disrupt them and feel awkward, but okay. Next Smeargle is Rash Lumberry with Double Dancing set. Kind of a double dance, but not really a double dance. It's very, as you can see up here, construed in the EV section, and that's because I have EVs that actually kind of just do things that I want them to do. So Rash obviously lowers your special defense, but I wanted this guy to be slightly defensive while I'm setting him up, because Quiver Dance and Coil boost special defense and defense respectively, so I figured, okay, we can make this like a bulky setup guy. So I gave 116 EVs in defense, 96 EVs in special defense. Since the special defense is higher, I'd rather have Rash nature than I believe it is. Let's do a quick check. Hey, look at me go. Mild, that's what it is. How did I forget that? Cool. Whoa, nope, that. There we go. So, anyway, so we have max HP, just because, again, bulky setup. And I just put the rest of EVs. I just put 4 EVs into speed because I want him to outspeed walls. That's all I really cared about. If anyone has walls and they don't put the 4 speed EVs into the wall, then I will automatically outspeed the walls. And then I just split it up between attack and special attack. Now, I gave more to special attack for the reason of the moveset, which is Quiver Dance, Coil, Extreme Speed, Stored Power. Now, the thing that you have to remember about this tier is when you're setting up the moves, okay, it's actually going to be very important that you think about who has the moves, because if you lose that person, you lose those moves, and it's kind of like a machine where you have like 6 pieces to the machine. If one of the machine pieces gets blown off by another giant turret that's being fired in a post-apocalyptic world, because that's what I dream about, I don't know, you lose this piece of the Smeargle machine. So, you know, extreme speed on this guy is actually extremely dangerous, mainly because he's a setup poke, and he doesn't have the max power right away. So, again, thinking about changing it, haven't yet, but that's mainly because I like this idea of Quiver Dance and Coil together. You can coil up if you just want to go flat out extreme speed, but the reason why I have 90 special attack is because of stored power. When these two go together, you have 6 different stats boosted to plus whatever. This thing gets quite powerful, and that was the main reason for it. And again, how many people are going to be converting into dark type? Shoot, I shouldn't have mentioned that. Anyways, yeah, but with Technician, obviously gives store power that boost if you haven't gotten it that high yet. But I mean, I don't have to worry about confusion. Confusion hacks happens, and he's got Lumberry as well if you try to confuse him. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting there. It is the Redcard Modest Smeargle. Max special attack, max speed, modest because I want more power out of it. This guy is a Tail Glow set with Tail Glow, Searing Shot, Judgment, and Psyshock. Pretty straightforward. I did not have to go Technician here because none of the moves get boosted by Technician, which means that, you know, confusion will be thrown off. Redcard has actually proved to be extremely useful against setup pokes, mainly physical sweepers, if you can actually survive it. But, yeah. Redcard, actually, I haven't used it as much as I wish I did, but if you can survive it, you can obviously shuffle them around, screw them up. Now, it is advantageous in the fact that you shuffle around their Smeargles, and you might bring them into a Smeargle that might not have any use in that situation, but at the same time, if it's early in the game and you shuffle them around, you kind of look and you go, oh, is this a new guy, or is this a guy that I just didn't damage, and he's already used a move that I know I should be afraid of and switch out, right? And that's what makes this tier extremely fun, with the fact that, you know, half the time, it's just dirt predictions. You actually have to dirt predict. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is my team. I'm sorry if this has gone on forever, but this is basically an upload that I'm doing mainly because I'm going back to school and I don't know when I'm uploading again. Doesn't mean I'm leaving you guys, but this is kind of something to leave you guys with since I've been gone for a week. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring you to a battle against Cased Victory. He was my main right-hand man in this because he was the first one to actually try and help me with the rules, and he helped me modify some rules and came up with certain stuff like Smash Pass being banned, and he proved that very well. And you know, I want to thank him very much for helping me out. As much as modest as he will be, like my Smeargle, he did do a great deal for me, and thank you so much, Cased Victory, for helping me actually bring the Smeargle tier to its full potential. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you at the battle. So, there is going to be no team preview since it is just basically 6 Smeargles versus 6 Smeargles, and I can't really show you sets above or below them because, frankly, I don't know all of Cased Victory's sets. I know some things, but I don't know every single detail about it, so there's no point in even pointing it out. What I'm basically going to do is I'm just going to tell you what Smeargle I think I've put out, which I actually looked up and I kind of matched it up like that. So, I'll tell you what's going on. Also, for some reason, Asoft, apparently when you have two of the same Pokemon on the team, will glitch out if you try and phase Pokemon said it is going to happen during this battle, so what I'll do is I'll either use annotations or I'll edit it in my video editing program to just try and put the percentages up for you, but I will try and explain it as best as I can when it gets to that point. If it glitches out, if it doesn't, hey, it's a miracle because I've tried it about 7 times now and it keeps glitching. So we're just going to go through there. So today, let's get this started. I'm going to lead off with my anti-lead Smeargle because I figured it's the best thing I can do. He leads off with his Team Picasso, his other Smeargles. I'm going to go for the fake out to break any potential sash on this possible lead. I don't even know if it's a lead or not, but he switches out, goes into his next Smeargle, as I just decide to go for the Spore. I pretty much predicted either the switch, or I know I'm going to be faster since I am max speed if it is his lead. So it's the best thing for me. Now he makes a double switch as I set up a layer of Toxic Spikes. So now I'm going to switch out. I actually go into my Coil, Extreme Speed, Stored Power one, and he actually goes for the block, followed by the Perish Song as I start setting up a Coil. Now, this sucks, so what I'm going to do is, since I know I'm pretty much doomed, I'm going to try and get as much damage as I can. I believe I go for a second Coil, yes, because I thought he might do something along the lines of Protect or Detect. So now what I'm just going to start doing is, I see I have 2 turns left, I'm just going to start firing off +2 Extreme Speed, which actually does a decent chunk to this Smeargle. He's going to go for the block, he's just wasting time. Now here, ladies and gentlemen, he makes a fantastic move. I go for a second Extreme Speed, don't get to take out his Picasso, but he goes for the Lunar Dance. And let's just take this into perspective here. He goes for the Lunar Dance on the turn that I'm going to die. What that means is, I'm going to lose my Smeargle, and I have to bring out the next one, and what he gets to do is bring out his next one, heal off the one that's asleep, and now it gets poisoned. That's a fantastic play, because he knows I was going to die anyways. But now I do bring in my Choice Scarf Smeargle. I'm going to go for the U-turn just to switch out, and I believe I go into my, what is this, Tail Glow set, as he goes for Rapid Spin and gets away my Toxic Spikes. Now, he thinks that this might be my lead, but it's not, as it's actually my Tail Glow set, and I'm going to go for the Searing Shot. If I had gone for the Judgment, this game would have gone completely different, because I was just showing off Searing Shot, but Judgment probably would have killed it. So I basically put myself in a very bad position here. He's going to go for the U-turn as he switches out into his other one. Now, I believe, I forget which one this is. Oh, this is my anti-lead because I just went for the fake out. That's cool. And I see he's a little bit more defensive because he takes a little bit less than 20%. And he actually shows me the trick, and he gives me the Choice Scarf. Now, this kind of sucks because anti-lead with the only attacking move being fake out is kind of bad. So now I'm going to switch out. I'm going to go into my Cleric as he switches out and goes into this thing. Now, I do know that this is his more defensive one as he goes for the Stealth Rocks, since I remember the poison is on it. But here he's going to set up a layer of spikes as I actually go for the Dragon Tail and miss. And ladies and gentlemen, if it starts glitching out here, I'm going to tell you basically what happens. He goes for the Toxic on my Cleric. Sucks, but I'm going to go for the Dragon Tail. As you see, it doesn't switch him out as his Rocky Helmet activates. So now he's actually into 100% Smeargle. I'm going to cover this up. This is kind of confusing myself. Goes for the Substitutes at 75%. My Rapid Spin, I just go just to get rid of all the layers around me. But now he does have a sub-nasty plot, 75% HP, Smeargle going off. As I just go for the Wish, I figure I might as well either heal myself up or just scout to see what he's going to do. But he actually goes to the Judgment. I live with 1% as I go for the Dragon Tail and actually get a crit on his sub, which actually matters because I usually take the 2-hit KO with the amount of EVs that I didn't have. So now he is going to take me out, but the sub is gone, which is very lucky for me. He's not poisoned, by the way, but he is at +2, 75%, so what I'm going to do, just go for the Thrash and actually take him out from that range. It wasn't 4%, trust me. But now he's going to go into Sleeping Smeargle just to be death fodder. Trying to waste out my Thrash turns. I'm thinking what he doesn't know is I have own tempo, so, I mean, I'm not going to get confused even if I get out of it. But I actually do 70% on this one, as he actually goes for the Swords Dance and then Extreme Speed. And this is when the animations start glitching out. I'm sorry, but yep, he's now at 20%. And I figured, okay, let me go for a fake out, get him down to 3% and flinch him. And I'm like, okay, I can switch out, go into someone else, and then switch this guy back and go for another fake out and kill him. But no, he goes for the slack off. I'm like, this thing is just a jack of all trades, knows what to do in everything. So I have to fodder something off because +2 return is an OHKO on everything. So I have to send in my conversion one, thinking, hey, maybe I can live and try and get the spite off, turn myself into Ghost, and be completely immune to his set. But no, he's gonna kill me, and all I've got left is fake out. I'm gonna do 19% there, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm stuck in a fake out, so he's just going to finish me off with a final return, and that's going to be an excellent game. That was an excellent match, case to victory. Comment, rate, and subscribe, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this battle. I hope you enjoyed this series. I mean, the glitching is a little terrible. In the future, I do have, actually, a few more PO battles. But in the future, I might go to Pokemon Showdown and maybe record those. Since, again, there's not much to really explain. But it won't, I don't think it'll be glitching. I'll have to check that out. But, I've actually been on Pokemon Showdown. I haven't been on Pokemon Showdown in a while. But, nonetheless, I will try and edit that for you guys so you don't get lost. But thank you so much for watching. Sorry for a long upload. But, again, this is probably going to be something that you're going to see for me just for now. And then, in the future, I don't know when I'm going to be uploading again. Because, this is actually, the battle's being recorded a couple of days after I recorded the first 2 parts. So, yeah, it's my school is looking extremely busy. So, I'm going to try and get some time, maybe Wednesday morning, stuff like that. I don't know. But, nonetheless, let's just end this here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy it. Leave comments about this series. Let me know if you have any questions about the tier, and I will gladly answer them for you. But thank you so much, and have a good day.